Hi, my name's Scott Wilson, and today I'm here with Mark Empson from Advanced Motor Control. How you going, Mark?
Great, thank you.
Hey Mark, I wanted to have a chat with you today because I know you've been doing some fantastic stuff. You're a member of our Marketing Insider Club, plus you also get some one-on-one coaching with Andreas. And I know you've been having some fantastic results, so I wanted to go over 3 things that you've been successful and we'll talk about them, because I know some businesses are really struggling out there, and I know, but your business is having some success, and I wanted to talk around that and maybe talk about some philosophy. So number one thing I wanted to talk about, what do you think's being and helping you being successful right now in the marketplace?
Our level of technical expertise, which is giving us a lot of credibility in the marketplace. People are coming to us because we're going to give them the right job.
Yep. So when you're talking about, I guess, the relevant expertise in your marketplace, what sort of businesses are you talking to, and why are they coming to see you?
Very, very broad range of different businesses, but usually people are coming because they're having issues with other suppliers or with other technology, and they have problems. And we are perceived as being the company that will do the job without the problems that they have associated with it.
So that expertise, I think it's a really interesting point. Have you built that up like overnight, or have you built that up over time, upskilling yourself to get that sort of expertise?
No, it's taken years.
Taken years?
Taken years to get there, but the interesting thing is that you can actually develop a very high level of expertise in a narrow market segment in a very short period of time. If you're prepared to put the effort up.
So someone who's watching this and going, oh yeah, it's all right for Mark, he's got, he's had years of experience in the business. In their industry, they could find a way to be an expert in a part of their business. Is that what you're sort of saying?
Oh, definitely. There's a lot of people say that in 18 months, if you put your mind to it, you can become a world expert. And I certainly agree with that, because I've done it many times. Yeah,
definitely. And I think from a marketing point of view, that's what we try and teach as well. You can become really quite well versed in a lot of the marketing strategy if you're prepared to immerse yourself. So I think a good takeaway for people then is, if you want to be seen as the expert in the marketplace, then pick a part of or an area that you're working in and really work hard. Maybe an extra hour a day on upskilling to become the expert in that marketplace, because it really is paying off for you now.
Oh, definitely. But I'd go further than that. I'd pick the areas where there is a big hole in expertise. So rather than become an expert alongside all the other experts in the market, find the niche area. Find the area that is not being well plugged now, and go for that one.
So an example of that was in your business?
It comes up every day. I find a new niche which I have to develop the expertise in. It's not something that does happen once. I came across a problem in the power industry in New Zealand with harmonics, and I found that there weren't many people who really knew what they're doing, and I'm now used as being the mentor to the power industry on harmonics, and that's 18 months worth of work, I suppose. Wow.
And the good thing about that is once you become the expert, you can sort of charge within reason what you like, because they can't get the job done anywhere else.
That's right.
Or they can get the job done, but it takes longer. And these days people, I guess it's the flip side of, maybe you don't want to spend the time to educate yourself to become the expert, but the flip side is you can actually get paid more, and the people that pay you actually want your expertise because you can help them do it faster. It really is that win-win, I guess, when you come together like that.
Yeah, definitely. But it also helps you when you're actually selling a product. If I look at the harmonics issue again, we sell probably one of the best harmonic filters in the world for solving problems with power boards. The power boards are now calling me in to mentor their staff, and then we usually end up having a public forum to teach the people in the industry, and they are referring to me all the time to get their answers, and the potential customers that I have are seeing this going on, so they're saying, well, that's the people we've got to deal with. And
it keeps snowballing because you don't really have to do too much.
That's right.
Okay, that's really cool. Okay, so number 2, and I think this is really interesting, you have a philosophy around teaching, etc. Can you explain a wee bit about that, and why that is helping your company be successful?
Well, I like to empower people because I work in a technical field. If I'm not careful, I end up being the only technical person there and spend all my time running around doing the technical work. If I can empower the people in the field to actually do that, then I work at a higher level rather than the rats and mice stuff. So it frees me up more. But as well as that, by empowering the people that we're actually dealing with, they start to look up to you. And you don't have to actually tell them that you're the expert. They know you're the expert.
Yeah, because you've passed that knowledge along.
You've passed it on to them. And they feel very comfortable because all of a sudden they've learned something. Everybody likes to learn something. And if you can pass it on to them, then it really helps. And I find it's just a very powerful way of getting the message across to people that you are the expert. if you run around blowing your own trumpet all the time, people get absolutely sick of you.
Yeah.
But if you go around there and run seminars, hold one-on-one coaching with people and so on, they then start to really feel obligated to you.
Yeah. Yeah, because you've given them a wealth of information that they never knew about. I guess it allows them to then be an expert with whoever they're dealing with as well.
That's right.
So it gives them, not only do you build your own credibility, but you're helping them build their own credibility.
Definitely.
As well. And I think that's a big thing when you step out to teach people these days, and position yourself as the expert. You do bring a lot more credibility into your business.
Oh, the credibility gets huge. The people who claim to be experts but aren't prepared to teach usually are the people who are scared that everybody else is going to catch up to them. And so very quickly people start looking down on them, saying, well, you don't actually really know that much.
Yeah, and I know that's that is one of the things, when we look to do our seminars, etc. When you're out teaching, you've got to be on top of your game. You've got to be up to date, because otherwise someone sitting in the seat there, hey, look, you can't know everything, but someone can pull you up and say, hey, what about this? What about that? So you do have to be, when you put yourself out there as teaching, you do have to upskill your own knowledge. So you are, I guess, making yourself the expert in a sense, and then being able to share that just it makes it even better, I guess.
Well, it's totally dynamic, because as you are teaching people, that they're coming to you with questions, they're asking for more. In a seminar situation, you can read from their reactions what they want to know, what they don't want to know, but you can learn a huge amount of additional information just from questions and answers from the floor in a seminar, or from one-on-one. And you get a better feel of what the marketplace really is like, what their level is, and you start to understand where to pitch things.
Yeah.
If you're going to sell something, you want to find the hot spots, you want to find where the people's concerns really are.
That is
by
so true.
teaching them, you're finding out where the concerns are, not where you perceive them to be.
Yeah, and I find that from talking to our Marketing Insider Club members all the time. So a great takeaway for this would be get off your butts and start maybe pushing some boundaries and start teaching. So if you're in the Marketing Insider Club, you're watching this, well, what can you do to start teaching some people about your industry? And what would you suggest? Maybe a good way to do that would be to do a mini seminar or something like that?
Yeah, I started off doing the seminars by working in partnership with other people. And in the early days of Advanced Motor Control, I partnered with a wholesaler in the Blenheim area. And he was very keen on getting me to go and work with his customers, because it made his business look better.
Yeah, definitely.
So he was very good, because he organised the venue, organised the people, and organised the date, and I just had to turn up and talk to them. So we'd have a chat, and say, time for a seminar, this is the topic for the night, and away we go.
So that's a fantastic opportunity just for anyone listening, as far as like if you're an Insider Club member. What Mark's just said is a fantastic idea. Who could you go to and say, hey, I've got this great presentation, who can I go and do it with? So let's say you deal with the banks, or you're a mortgage broker, etc. Who could you go and deal with? Well, you could go and say the banks and say, hey, I'd love to put on a seminar for your clients. Or if you do a joint venture with a real estate agency and say, hey, I'd love to do a presentation for your customers. And that'd be a great way to leverage and get yourself out there and get known as that expert in the marketplace.
Yeah, and the advantage for the person you're partnering with is that they are giving their customers something for nothing.
Yeah, and which is a huge win-win.
It's a big win for them, and it's a win for you, because you're being introduced as an expert to a wide range of people that you wouldn't normally get access to. Cool,
there's some great takeaways there. Really, my mind's ticking over as you're talking, so that's fantastic. Hey, number 3, I really like this one, and we've got a piece of paper here as well, which I think really makes this thing really come to life. So what do you want to talk about, number 3?
Number 3, I think you've got to be brave. You've got to stand out. You've got to be prepared to be different. And I always like a quote from Bill Glazier. If you want to succeed anywhere, find out what everybody else is doing and do the opposite. Because if you join the crowd, you're never going to go anywhere. So stand out, do things different, get noticed. Yeah.
And this marketplace as well, one of the first things you have to do is you have to get attention. Definitely. If you're not getting attention, you're dead in the water dead in the water. And maybe let's talk about how you've been standing out recently and getting in front of people. And I know Andreas might pass us this piece of paper, though, which I think is just fantastic. That proves that what you're doing is working.